Hello, all you wonderful women. Today I'd like to ask you, what are you afraid of? Your fears may be big and you have a lot of them, or maybe you just have one or two small little ones. But everyone lives with fear every day. Have you ever heard the saying, there's nothing to fear but fear itself? Well, for some types of fear, that's true. But fear actually can be a good thing in our lives. For example, have you ever grabbed a jacket on your way to the theater because you were afraid it might be cold in there? That's a good kind of a fear. Or have you brought along a snack to a baseball game because you were afraid you might get hungry? Again, a good fear. I call them qualified fears. Those fears are based on the fact that you've had past experience and know that it could be a problem if you don't take some precautionary actions. Qualified fears we live with all the time, every day. They help us make many decisions, and they're a good kind of fear. Take a look at little kids, for example. That's why we have to keep a close eye on them, because they don't know to have fear yet. We have to keep them from doing things that are going to hurt themselves. Or the same for people who are strung out on drugs. They have a very low sense of fear, and it causes them to do things that are very dangerous, to both to themselves and to other people. So fear is an important part. So those people who say fear not, they don't really mean to fear nothing. What they're talking about is to fear not unqualified fears. And unqualified fears are completely different. These are the fears that keep us from growing and having a fun, fulfilling life. There's several kinds of these fears. The biggest one is probably worry. We worry that we're going to be late going somewhere. We worry when our kids are out and they don't give us a call. We worry that we're not going to do well for a job interview. We worry about a lot of things. And this is very unproductive fear. It does nothing but cause us stress, and it doesn't help resolve anything. Think of your unqualified fears this way. If it's something that you can't take action to make any difference, then it's a worry that's unproductive and actually harmful to you. Some people even believe that by focusing on the worry, that you could actually manifest that thing that you don't want to happen and make it happen. But whether you believe this or not, it does cause negative effects on your health and can shorten your life to sit and worry about things that you can't do anything about. This is an unqualified fear, and these are the ones that you need to start recognizing and letting go. So let's take the example of being afraid you're going to be late for a job interview. If you're still at home, this could be a qualified fear. You can do something about it, and it could be helpful to be afraid or worried that you're going to be late. You can skip eating breakfast. You can skip that second layer of mascara. Whatever it takes, you have some control still on getting to the job interview on time. So at that point in time, the fear could be considered qualified and be helpful to get you going, get you out that door faster. However, now let's say you're already driving. Your control is pretty much gone by this point. You have to follow the traffic lights and the traffic signs, and by screaming at that guy in front of you isn't going to make him go any faster. Now your fear is causing you stress. It's causing you to be upset, and it's not doing anything productive to get you there faster. What you want to do at this point is try to remain calm. Take some deep breaths and let it go. If you're going to be late, you're going to be late. At least you can show up looking calm and collected and have your thoughts together ready for the interview rather than harried and frazzled and all upset that you're running late. And besides, if your mind is calm and collected, you can come up with really good excuses for being late that would blow any potential employer right out of the water. So these worry types of fears are the ones that you really need to try to let go. Those are unqualified and not helpful in your life at all. Another kind of unqualified fear is the one where it holds you back from a great, fulfilling life. For instance, you're afraid to go on a once-in-a-lifetime trip with your girlfriend because you just don't know if you might not have your job next year and then you won't have any money to live on. Well, that fear is a little bit more tricky. If they're laying off everybody in your workplace, then you might have a qualified fear there. However, if your job is stable and it's been stable, then you really are projecting something that is unqualified and you have no reason not to follow through and enjoy that trip. Another example that comes for a lot of people is staying in a dead-end job when they have great potential to have their own business, but they're afraid. They're afraid to let go of that steady income. And again, this one has to be thought out. If you just have some pie-in-the-sky ideas of what you might like to do, you may want to stay at your job a little bit longer until you figure everything out. But if you've got a good business plan and you've got some financial backing, a little savings set aside, go for it. The fear of holding you back is going to destroy instead of enhance your life. We want as much out of our lives as we can, and those kind of unqualified fears are holding us back. So please let them go. Help you let go of these unqualified fears and to enhance the fact that fear can be good. The activity this week is going to be to take some time each evening and think of at least 2 things that you feared that helped in your life. So these would be qualified fears now. Think of 2 qualified fears that you used in the day. Then look at two, well, you may not have 2 or you may have more than 2, but look at the unqualified fears in your life. And these, if you can't get rid of them, may be following you from day to day. So take a look at the unqualified fears and think of ways that you can either turn them qualified and have a justification for why you should or shouldn't follow them, or let them go and don't live your life or make your decisions on those fears. Now, you may want to write these down and do this over a period of time, especially the unqualified ones. That way you can see if there's a pattern, because generally, if there's a pattern, it means you're lacking in something else. So say your self-esteem is lacking and that's why you're afraid to let go of your full-time job to do a part-time job or do a job on your own because you are afraid. Your self-esteem is low. You don't think you're good enough. Well, I'm telling you, you're good enough, okay? And if you need some help with that, look at some of the other blog posts on this site. That'll help you out and do the activities. But don't let those things hold you back. So keeping track over a long period of time, maybe a month or 2, will help you see any patterns in your unqualified fears, which will help you start letting them go. Post in the comments below how you're doing, what some of your fears are. A lot of times if you share them, they become less. So go ahead and share them below, and we will see you next week. Bye.